Mary, meet Libra. Libra, sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign. This is a 2-week reading for all you Libras. We're streaming this live on YouTube and on Twitch. Moderating today on YouTube are the lovely Shirley and the lovely Dre, and moderating on Twitch is the lovely Honeypaw. Thank you so much, moderators. And thank you, Libras and friends of Libras, for joining us for this 2-week reading for today, the 18th of February, 2023. Starting today, February 18th, 2023. Going for 2 weeks. I'm reading with this Tarot of Marseille by the artist Paul K. And I have already purified with this beautiful Agua de Colonia Concentrado by Alvarez Gomez. And I like that. I like those spray purifiers rather than burning things indoors. That's just me. You can find information about those products in the video description of my this video on my YouTube channel. Like I said, this is a 2-week reading for all Libras, sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign, starting today, the 18th of February, 2023, going out to all you Libras, whether you're watching live or on a restream. It does go out to a lot of Libras, so if for some reason it doesn't seem to apply to you personally, disregard it because it may not be meant for you. In that case, check out the zodiacal readings for your other signs, all of which are available on my website, ariels-corner.com, Ariel's Corner with a hyphen.com. This is a brand new tarot channel on YouTube, and we appreciate you being here. Make sure that you have subscribed to us and hit that bell button so that we can get our subscribers up over that 1,000 subscriber mark. We'd like to do that this week if possible, so thanks for your help on that. If you'd like to give us a donation, you can do that by going to paypal.me/Ariel Gatoga, paypal.me/Ariel Gatoga. And we have a shop at arielscornershop.com, arielscornershop.com. We have all kinds of beautiful merchandise, including tarot decks for sale. We appreciate your support because we get a small commission off of each and every sale. If you're watching on Twitch, make sure that you follow us on Twitch and watch our videos on Twitch without any ads simply by subscribing to us there. All right, Libras, I am going to shuffle 2 more times, and we will then give this a nice clean cut and see what's in the cards for the next couple weeks for all you beautiful, gorgeous, amazing, and fabulous Libras. Woohoo. Okay, we've got a 3 of Cups. We've got an Ace of... No, we don't. We have a 9 of Wands. Okay, that was a little weird. And a 5 of Coins. Oh, Libra. What is going on? We're going to fix this because overall you're doing great. Look at this 3 of Cups. You've been doing everything right. Stay with it. You've been doing everything right. All of the stuff that you've been doing is really, really giving you at least the beginnings of good results. Don't allow yourself to move off of doing what you're doing. Just stay the course, okay? Because some of you are going back into the fatigue mode. Some of you are going back into the overwork mode and the not taking care of yourself mode and the not enough self-care mode and not getting enough sleep mode and not eating the right foods mode and all of that, right? And that's that ego mind trying to say, what can we do to mess up your success? Because we want you to be scared. That's what the ego wants. It wants you to be scared of your future. So a lot of you are so afraid that you're not going to have enough money or things aren't going to work out well for your future. So rather than staying and doing what you've been doing, which has been causing all of these wonderful manifestations, you're saying, yeah, maybe I better go back to the old ways of overworking and overdoing things. Don't do that. Stop it. You are doing so well. Don't let yourself be fooled. Don't let those fears of the future fool you. You're already on track. You don't need to change course right now. You need to stay the course. All right, let's open this up. I got to shuffle one more time because I really want to make sure that we catch this, because this is what caught you last time. Remember when you got into that? I don't know if you guys remember this, but I remember maybe several months ago. And I don't usually remember readings, but I remember the Libra. You guys were way off course, and you're not going to get back there. You don't do that. You're going to stay the course. You're going to do really, really well. All right. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, this is that. This is when you turned everything around and everything's been going so well for you. And it is going well for you, but you think that the way that the reason why it's going well is because of hard work or something, or a lot of effort, or actually it's even more than that. I think it's more like self-sacrifice, or how much can I push myself? The more tired I am, then that's going to equal success. There's something like that for many of you, where it's just like, well, I better not take care of myself. I better push myself, run myself ragged, and then I'll have even more success. And that's when things take they start to kind of go sideways. So don't do that. We've got see, this is that overburdened card. That's the recipe for failure, is taking on too many burdens. I think some of you are taking on burdens because you think that you are responsible for other people. Some of you are doing that, not everybody. Some of you are thinking, well, and even with your kids, it's really easy to think I'm responsible for my children. You are responsible for your children, but you're not responsible for your adult children. If they're adults, you're not responsible for your spouse, making sure that they get up for work and stuff like that. You're not responsible for other people's behavior. You're not responsible if you have people around you having substance abuse. You're not responsible for them making sure that they don't have the consequences of their substance abuse. You have to let them go. You have to learn to detach with love if that overburden happens to be that for you. And it's not that way for all of you, but for some of you, it's codependency that needs to be addressed. And you already know that. You already know that. And a lot of you don't realize that you're falling back into it. But let's catch it before you do fall back into it. Let's catch it before it becomes the same old problem that it was before. Because you're already on the right track. You really are doing great. You really, really, really are doing great. And you have everything that you need to have all of the manifestations of prosperity and things like that that you've been desiring. So let's not mess that up by falling back into codependent patterns, if that's what it is for you. Now, for some of you, it's not so much codependency. For some of you, it's just plain old self-denial. It's just plain old not feeling worthy and feeling like you're that the only way that you can succeed is if somehow you suffer. I'm going to give you a really, really smart understanding. Well, I don't know if I'm smart, but it's a really smart understanding if you accept this, if you understand this, that it's impossible for you to suffer enough to be happy. It's impossible for you to suffer enough to be happy. There used to be these ancient cultures that would have earthquakes. And they thought, well, what do we do to make sure we don't have earthquakes? So they started sacrificing goats. And they would keep sacrificing goats to ward off the earthquakes. The problem with that is that nobody ever told them when there were enough goats. Nobody ever came by and said, okay, that's enough goats. Right? So stop sacrificing goats. That's a metaphor, just so you know. I don't think that you're really sacrificing goats. But don't sacrifice goats for happiness. Don't say, well, if I really, show the universe, and a lot of times we don't do this like consciously, but there's a subconscious motivation. If I show the universe how much suffering I can do, how much I can really put myself out there and really run myself ragged and really be overburdened, then I will earn my happiness. Then I will earn my prosperity. And actually, it goes the opposite way. That's how you earn your poverty. That's how you earn your failure. Because what you're doing is you're telling yourself that you're not worthy. When you do that, you're telling yourself you're not good enough. But you know that that's not right. You already know that. You've already done all this work. So don't fall back into those old patterns. This is not news to you. It's just sometimes we get on sometimes we have these grooves in our mind from doing things over and over and over again for so long. And when we fall out of those grooves, which is a good thing, which is what you've been doing, and things start working out, we start to easily fall back into the old grooves and not even notice it. So now is the time to say no to that, because you haven't fallen into that groove yet, but it looks very tempting for some of you to fall back into those old patterns. Today's a very important day and this whole 2 weeks is a very important time for you to be extremely aware of those tendencies to fall back into that self-denial, that self-abuse, that using the overwork and burden and self-sacrifice and all of that kind of stuff to destroy all of the wonderful work that you've been doing. And that all happens very unconsciously if you're not aware of it. So just be questioning of any of your behavior if it looks like you are overworking or not sleeping enough or not taking care of yourself enough, taking on other people's burdens, doing all of those kinds of things that you've been doing. That you used to do, that you stopped doing, and just recognize this. No. We're not going back there. Good, nice try, ego, but we're not going back there. It was very valiant effort on your part, but we aren't doing that. We've already made up our minds, we Libra. We have already made up our minds that we are going to be freed from those patterns. We have already set the groundwork, laid the groundwork for all of this wonderful success, which is happening. Maybe not in every way yet. Maybe it's not showing up completely, it's not come to fruition, but that doesn't matter. You know that you're on the right track. I know that you know that you're on the right track because you've done so well. Things are improving. Let's not allow the ego to mess it up by allowing you to fall asleep to what's going on and just go back into those old patterns. So be highly sensitive to your motivations over these next 2 weeks, and notice immediately when you do anything that's not healthy for you. Notice immediately when you do something to run yourself ragged. Notice immediately when you overburden yourself and you agree to too many things that you don't want to do, or that you take on other people's burdens for yourself, or if you just pile on a bunch of burdens on your own self. A lot of times people will take their spirituality and turn it into a bunch of burden. You're just like, well, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do this. It's just, I know this one guy, he's not a Libra, but still, he gets up at 4 a.m. so that he can do all of his spiritual work, and he's not done with his spiritual work until like 8 in the morning. And it's like, okay, do you think that's enough? Just you can have like 10 minutes or 30 minutes, for your spiritual work. You don't have to overdo it. So no matter what it is, whether it's that or taking on other people's responsibilities, wherever these burdens are coming from, Libra, notice them, watch for them, and say no. Just no. It's okay for you to do less. It's okay for you to just take care of Libra, have some downtime, and recognize that all of the groundwork that you've already laid is working. It's working. Doing more is going to mess it up. It's like an artist. The painting is just about done, and you go, oh, let me just fix this. Let me just fix this. Let me just fix this, and the whole thing gets ruined. You got to start over again. Don't do that to yourself. Let it happen. Stay the course. Notice those tendencies to want to mess things up that's coming from that self-destructive tendency that we all have. But for you, you're not going to allow it to happen because you're already way ahead of the game. You're not going to screw up all of this wonderful work that you've done. Notice it. Say no to it. You're going to do great. Thank you so much for spending a little time with me. I'll be back in 2 weeks for another reading. Thank you so much to the amazing moderators, Shirley, Dre, and Honeypaw. And we'll see you in 2 weeks, Libra. Blessed be.